What's up, Amazon sellers? Today I'm going to share 3 things you need to watch out for when selling on Amazon. Quite simply, these are things that you're probably not going to expect, or they are going to make your business easier to run and make you more money. So stay tuned, we'll go through that now. Right, if you don't know who I am, my name is Thomas Parkinson and I am an Amazon arbitrage seller now doing this for about 4 years, and I'll drop a link up there to a video that I'm doing where my mission right now is to do £1 million by the end of 2021. Quite simply, I talk about my journey, I document everything that I'm doing, and I share with you not only my revenue, but also my profits and my learnings and what I'm doing every single month. So watch that video, that's going to really help you out, and hey, maybe help you in your Amazon journey. Today, we are talking about 3 things you need to watch out for. Now, if you don't know, this video is part of a 3-part mini-series that I've created around things to watch out for when you first start selling on Amazon. So if you haven't watched the first one, I'd really recommend watching that. We focus very heavily around sourcing, what you should be understanding, and it's going to help you there. The second video, we talk around a bit more about sourcing, but also as well, fulfillment by Amazon. There's some things you need to be aware of. So have a look at that video. That's obviously going to help you as well. I'll put a link at the top. And then finally today, what are we going to talk about in this third and final video? Well, quite simply, 3 things I'm going to highlight today are replenishables, how you can build a replenishables list that is going to make your business more efficient, save you time, and make you more money in the long run. Number 2, I am going to be talking about managing your cash flow, how to maximize that money within your business to support you in getting the most amount of profit out of it. And then finally, number 3, there is something Amazon does that literally they do to all sellers, and when it happens, you literally think the end of the world has come. So what can you do to prepare for that? I'll explain that in my third and final point. But let's get started. Let's talk about it now. Okay, so first things first, a replenishables list. What is a replenishables list? Well, quite simply, a replenishable list is exactly what it says on the tin. It is a list of items that you have sold in the past, which you can replenish. Now, quite simply, what does this generally look like? Well, what you are generally looking for are products which have a pretty stable price history. Look at the keeper chart, understand what's gone on with that price over time, that buy box price. And hey, maybe you're not an expert at keeper, have a look at my free keeper training up here. That's really going to help you. But look at that sale price. Try and find a product which is very consistent over time. And if that is pretty consistent, that means it's always had a very consistent sale price. Now, you've obviously bought this product and you've sold it at that consistent sale price for a profit. So it might be the case that this product has been on sale, maybe it's come available in a supplier. You want to make a record of that. Get an Excel spreadsheet, a Google Doc, store that ASIN, store that supplier link, and then keep an eye on that. Now, every week you want to be going through, checking those products, checking those links, looking for those products that you know are always selling for a certain price and you know where to buy them from, and to make sure that you know what price you want to buy them for. Why? Because you've already bought them once, you've already sold them once, they know they work, they make you money, you know the buy price, you know the sale price. And if you can keep that process up every single week, you don't have to go find new deals. Simply, what are you doing? You are just replenishing the products you already have. What I will say is I could go on forever talking about replenishable items, building replenishable lists, and top tips for that. If you are interested, make sure you put a comment down below and I will create a video around replenishments. But quite simply, the fundamentals of creating a replenishable list is going to be creating a list, Amazon ASIN, supplier link, buy price, sell price. That is it. And every week, just going through that list, checking for those items to see if they're back in stock, and reordering, replenishing them when they come available. Top tip number 1, or things to watch out for, is not so much watch out, but building that list. That is going to make the difference between constantly having to work really hard or relaxing, working smart. So watch out, don't work too hard, build a replenishable list and save yourself time and effort in the long run. And build, hey, a sustainable business. Okay, so number 2, this is managing your cash flow. Managing your cash flow effectively is probably one of the most important things you can do in any business. It doesn't actually matter how much profit you're making. If you cannot manage your cash flow correctly, you will go bust, your business will go bankrupt, and you will lose your business, even if you're very profitable, and this does happen. So quite simply, what is cash flow? Cash flow is quite simply ensuring you have enough money in the bank at all times to pay the bills that are due when they are due. That's it. Very, very simple. Now, quite simply, how do you do this with an Amazon business? You've got to understand there are a lot of variables to take into account. Number one, Amazon isn't simple. It holds your money for 2 weeks. It has a disbursement, should we say, account that will hold it for 2 weeks, and you need to factor that into your calculations. Number two, you're probably going to be operating using things such as credit cards, which have payment dates or they have available limits. And hey, you might have things like personal loans, and maybe you might have more than one bank account. And all this money is available in certain areas at different times, and it can be really, really complex. So the top thing you want to watch out for is making sure that you're managing that cash flow correctly, because if you don't manage it correctly, what's going to happen? You could lose your business. Now, one question you might ask is, how do I manage it correctly? Well, quite simply, I've created an entire video on this subject and how I manage my cash flow with a cash flow sheet as well that you can use in your business. It is designed just for Amazon sellers. So I'll drop a link up there to the video that I did about cash flow, managing cash flow with that cash flow sheet. And quite simply, what is this? This is going to allow you to understand where all your money is in your business, whether it be in the Amazon disbursement account, or whether it be on a credit card, or physically in an account somewhere, or maybe supplier credit you've got. It's going to collect all that information in. It's going to help you understand where your money is. It also helps you understand what your costs are coming up this week, next week, and ongoing. And then it helps you plan that money. So really helping you support you understand what's coming into your business, and then also what costs you've got going out. And then obviously the difference is the amount of money that you want to be spending on your stock. And why does that matter? Because the more money you can spend on stock, the more money you can invest, that is going to help you turn that stock and make a profit. Generally in business, we say cash is king, but in the Amazon world, stock is king. Stock is the thing that's going to make you money. So investing that spare cash into stock is going to help you grow your Amazon business and also get better. Okay, so the third and the final one. What is this? I've not even told you what it is. Quite simply, I'm just going to say it right now. It's called the £15,000 disbursement limit. Now, quite simply, when you first started selling on Amazon, Amazon will do some really provisional checks on your business and who you are, and they'll let you start selling because it's in their interest. They want you to start selling. But as you start growing as an Amazon business, and when you start making more sales, obviously Amazon needs to make sure that they really understand who you are. And that's all part about knowing who your customers are, i.e. you are a customer of Amazon, and they need to understand who you are and make sure everything's legitimate and everything's as they believe it is. So what happens, around about £15,000, Amazon perform a check on your account. Now, quite simply, they're going to go through all your documents. They're going to check all your name, everything you provided with Amazon versus your documentation, to make sure everything is legit and very correct. And I say very, very, very correct, 100%. Now, quite simply, we've seen it time and time again with Amazon sellers that they have made a small mistake, something's gone wrong, or maybe something isn't exactly as it is on the documentation, and as a result, Amazon have suspended their account pending getting that updated. Now, quite simply, you've just gone from $0 to £15,000 and you want to keep selling. So what do you want to watch out for? Quite simply, just go into Amazon knowing around about £15,000, maybe $15,000 as well. You are going to get a message from Amazon say, hey, we are now going to do a check on your account, and during this time, we're going to suspend your selling privileges. Shock, shock, horror, horror, literally the worst thing in the world. But don't worry, this is just part of the journey. This is something that you need to understand. Now, this process shouldn't take very long, so long as everything's up to date. But the one question you might be asking, what can I do to make sure everything's right? Well, quite simply, make sure everything is correct on your Amazon selling account versus your official documentation. Now, what do I mean by that? I would literally get out a bank statement and have a look at what's the bank statement I provided Amazon, what's the address on my bank statement, and is it exactly, and I do mean exactly the same, even the same words, capitalizing letters, no abbreviations, everything is exactly the same on the bank statement as it is on Amazon. For example, in our world, in the UK, we generally do what's known as limited companies. So it might be like Tom Limited. Now, we can also abbreviate it Tom Ltd. So a lot of time we don't just write Tom Ltd. But Tom Ltd and Tom Limited are two very different things. And interestingly enough, Amazon will literally suspend your account until you've changed that. Now, the worst thing is they're not very good at actually telling you exactly what's wrong. They just tell you there's information that's incorrect, please correct it. And it's like, oh! So, top tip for you guys, really go through every single document you've provided to Amazon, make sure it's exactly the same, word for word, everything on the documentation as it is on the Amazon Seller Central. Just remember that even at £15,000, even if you've done all those checks, they're probably still going to suspend you, but at least that suspension is going to be very, very quick. And it's not so much you've done anything wrong, they are just checking all the information because they need to know you are who you say you are and you're not some kind of dodgy seller selling something dodgy. So just be aware, £15,000, $15,000, that limit kicks in and expect that to come. Just part and parcel of being a seller. Don't worry about it. Okay, so that is pretty much it. That is the end of these 3 things that you need to watch out for on Amazon. And hey, as part of the 3-part mini series that we have done, just to support you in selling in your Amazon journey or supporting you in growing your business. Now, hopefully you have found that informative and hopefully it's helped you. So hit that like button, let me know, obviously, if that's what you liked. And then second, what I say is any questions, any comments, drop it down below. That is going to be really helpful for me just understanding what maybe things you're going through in your business that maybe challenges you're facing. And hey, I could probably record a video for that as well. What I will say is from me, Thomas Parkinson and FastTrackFBA, thank you very much.